Picture this. You're in the middle of a ranked match. Your screen is a blur of gunfire and explosions, and your teammate just called you out for dropping from 240 FPS to 120. Your heart sinks because you know what that means. You're about to get outplayed. Not because you're bad, but because your laptop couldn't keep up. Now imagine if that same laptop could have handled it. That's the promise of the MSI Katana 15HX, a machine built not just to play, but to dominate. But here's the thing. High-end gaming laptops aren't just about raw power anymore. They're about balance. Too many brands throw in top-tier specs, but skimp on cooling, battery life, or display quality. You end up with a laptop that screams and benchmarks, but feels like a space heater on your lap during a 3-hour session. The Katana 15HX aims to fix that. It's not just powerful, it's smart. And today, we're putting it through the ringer to see if it lives up to the hype. Let's start with what hits you first, the design. The Katana 15HX is sleek but aggressive, with sharp angular lines that scream gamer, not office drone. It's all black, with a brushed metal lid that resists fingerprints surprisingly well. The RGB keyboard is customizable through MSI's Dragon Center software. And while the per-key RGB is fun for show, the real magic is in the key travel. 1. 8 millimeters of tactile feedback that makes long sessions feel effortless. The laptop itself is 5.29 pounds, which is light for a 15.6-inch powerhouse, but still sturdy enough to survive a backpack drop. The ports? You get 2 USB-A 3.2s, 1 USB-C 3.2, and HDMI 2.1, a mini display port, a 2.5G Ethernet jack, and a 3.5mm audio combo. No Thunderbolt, but for most gamers, that's not a deal breaker. Now let's talk about what's under the hood, because this is where the Katana 15HX earns its stripes. At its heart is the Intel Core i9-14900HX, a 24-core beast with a base clock of 2 GHz and a turbo boost up to 5.8 GHz, paired with 32 GB of DDR5 RAM and a 1 TB NVMe SSD. This setup isn't just for gaming. It's for anything that demands muscle. Video editing? No problem. Streaming while gaming? Handled. Running multiple VMs for cybersecurity testing? Bring it on. The SSD is fast enough to load games like or in under 10 seconds, and the RAM keeps everything snappy even when you're juggling Discord, Chrome with 50 tabs, and a game running in the background. But the real star here is the graphics card. The NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5070, built on NVIDIA's new Blackwell architecture. This isn't just a minor upgrade, it's a generational leap. With DLSS 4 and enhanced ray tracing, you're getting smoother frame rates and more realistic lighting without sacrificing performance. For example, enabling DLSS 4 and ray tracing at QHD resolution pushed me to a consistent 90 FPS compared to just 50 FPS without it. That's the difference between a playable experience and a slideshow. And for competitive gamers, the 165Hz QHD Plus display is a game changer. With 100% DCI, P3 color coverage, and a 2560 by 1440 resolution, colors pop, details are razor sharp, and a high refresh rate means your aim isn't limited by your screen sluggishness. Let's talk real-world testing. I put this laptop through a brutal gauntlet on Ultra at 165Hz with ray tracing and DLSS 3, and even for 3D rendering. The i9-14900HX and RTX 5070 combo handled everything without breaking a sweat. The laptop stayed cool under load, around 85 degrees Celsius on the CPU and 78 degrees Celsius on the GPU, thanks to MSI's Cooler Boost 5 system with dual fans and 6 heat pipes. Battery life? Expect around 3 to 4 hours for light tasks, but don't expect to game unplugged. That's par for the course with high-end gaming laptops, but it's worth noting if you're someone who travels a lot. Now, let's be real, no product is perfect. The Katana 15HX has a few quirks. The webcam is a 720p unit that looks grainy in low light, and the speakers, while decent, aren't going to replace a good headset. The keyboard RGB is fun, but the layout is a bit cramped, with the arrow keys sandwiched between the numpad and the main keys. And while the display is gorgeous, the 165Hz refresh rate is capped at QHD. If you want 4K, you'll need to look elsewhere. Also, the laptop's fan noise can get loud under heavy load, though it's not unbearable. So how does it stack up against the competition? Let's compare it to the ASUS ROG Zephyrus G16, which also packs an RTX 5070 and a 165Hz QHD Plus display. The Zephyrus is thinner and lighter, but it's also more expensive and lacks the Katana's raw thermal performance. The Lenovo Legion Pro 7i is another strong contender with similar specs, but its keyboard is less comfortable for long sessions. The Katana 15HX strikes the best balance between power, cooling, and price, making it a top pick for gamers who want flagship performance without the premium price tag of ultra-thin models. So, who's this laptop for? If you're a competitive gamer who demands high FPS and responsive gameplay, or a content creator who needs raw power for editing and rendering, the MSI Katana 15HX is a no-brainer. It's not the lightest or the most portable, but it delivers where it counts: performance, cooling, and display quality. If you're willing to trade a bit of portability for a machine that can handle anything you throw at it, this is the one to get. If you're ready to upgrade your setup and leave lag and stuttering in the past, the MSI Katana 15HX is waiting. Click the link in the description, check the current price, and take the first step toward dominating your games. Trust me, your future self will thank you when you're fragging opponents while they're still watching their screens load.